Welcome to Body Efficiency Training, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the most practical, the most useful body posture to practice, and I think this posture is the one. It is the most relaxed posture your body can be in, and it's the midpoint of all motion. You can move evenly in all directions from this posture. Now I call this the neutral posture or the neutral stance, and it's defined by asking a question, and that is, what position would your body form if it were floating in space and you could achieve perfect relaxation? In other words, there are no forces acting on the body, internally or externally. So what shape would your body form? Well, it would be this, and it's a sort of half-crouch, mid-jump position. It's a very primitive, very primal position. It's a bit like the fetal position. But remember, we're floating in space. So you've got to imagine I'm floating in space, and what position would I form? Now, I've done another video in more detail on the neutral stance. I suggest you go and have a look at that and see how I build this up step by step. There's a logic to it, and if you can understand that logic, you'll see where I'm coming from. But this is my own training. I'm working on my ideas on how to make a more efficient body and use this body in a better way. And I think there is a better way of using the body. But it's new. This hasn't really thought about. It's unusual, and you've got to think about it and see what I'm doing and see if you agree with me. But you can see here from this neutral position, I can start moving around. I'm moving left and right, extending a little bit. But as I'm moving my body away from this position, I'm still trying to keep as close to the position as possible, because this is more efficient. There's less work being done by the body because the bones are held in their midpoint. Now, I'm saying less work, but of course there's more work because I'm standing here in gravity. I'm not floating in space, and I am doing work. I'm using the whole body together. I'm holding tension in the body, but it's as minimum tension as I can get away with, and I'm spreading that tension evenly throughout the body and trying to feel it in the joints and hold the joints in as close to their middle position as possible. And then I'm also using relaxation. I've got to practice the opposite. These are the two things we practice in this body efficiency training, or I practice, and that is controlling tension and controlling relaxation. And here I'm doing again a bit of both. I'm locking out the legs, stretching the legs so they're intense, but I'm holding the body up straight, and now I'm levering forward a little bit with straight legs on the ball of the feet, but I'm using the glutes and I'm trying to keep the spine in the natural S curve. So I'm playing with tension and relaxation to try and hold my body in an efficient position whilst I'm basically standing around doing random things. So you can see it looks a bit robotic because I'm just practicing the inner body alignment. You see, when you actually do things, it's very difficult to keep that inner body alignment. So you've got to practice very simply, very carefully, very slowly, and feel that in your body. So it's a bit more work to do. It's work for your brain to do. But once you get the hang of this, you'll wonder why you didn't do this before. It's so much more efficient. Your body is stronger, and the whole thing is easier because you spread the work throughout all your body, throughout every single muscle, not just one or two, and more muscles doing less work is more efficient than one or two muscles doing all the work. And it tends to be muscles in the back. The spine does all the work, and one or two vertebrae in the spine do all the work, and then you injure yourself. So it can be detrimental. So this neutral position is the most practical position to practice. It's a dynamic position. You are leaning forward, but you're levering forward at the hips. And here you can see the most practical use for this training, this posture. It's getting up and sitting down in a chair or a sofa. So here, look, I'm assuming the neutral position. My knees are going slightly out. I'm projecting the hips back, pulling the belly in tight, lifting the rib cage and shoulders up, even though I'm levering down. I'm on the ball of the feet, and I'm cushioning the whole movement through all the joints. I'm not doing the work in the knees and the thighs. It's between the ankles and the hips, and I'm still trying to control the spine even as I lean back. So I've got a lumbar arch, and you can put a lumbar support pillow, which I highly recommend. And here and now I'm leaning back, I'm opening the ribs, stretching open the shoulders, still trying to feel the natural S curve of the spine, levering up using the psoas muscle and the hip joint, levering up, keeping that nice spine. And before I even start to get up, I'm taking my weight forward into the neutral position. I'm falling forward onto the toes, but taking the weight with the ankles and the hips, not the knees, and then squeeze the glutes to rise up into this dynamic standing position in a nice upright straight spine. So I'm doing the movement with great control and focusing on my internal structure rather than doing the movement. So the structure is the important bit. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this and found this useful. Do check out the other video on the neutral stance, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.